Good evening, everybody. Once again, this is a UFC 161 post-fight recap with Bear Thunder Heart. And tonight, well, there was some pretty good fights, I would say, tonight, and some more exciting than others. But before I read the card and read the results of the fights, I just want to wish everybody, for all you fathers out there, happy Father's Day. Since Father's Day is tomorrow, I just thought I'd wish all fathers, and especially those who are actually our real fathers that are raising their kids and doing what they're supposed to do and taking responsibility. Those are for those fathers out there. For those deadbeats, that's not for you. So, for those who are taking care of their kids, good for you and happy Father's Day and enjoy yourselves. So, any event, I'm just gonna read the card and read the fights and so forth. So, here we go. I'm not gonna waste any more time. Now, Yves Jabquin versus Dustin Pague. And the winner is Yves Jabquin via split decision victory. Wow, what an excellent fight. Went to the ground. It was just most of the ground fighting. A lot of reversals. Yves Jabquin did most of the damage, even though Dustin Pague did a lot too. So congratulations, Yves Jabquin on a split decision victory. Mitch Clarke versus John Maguire. And the winner is Mitch Clarke via unanimous decision. And Roland Delorme versus Edwin Figueroa. And the winner is Roland Delorme via a unanimous decision. Roland Delorme basically dominated the whole 3 rounds with a lot of grounding, pounding, submission attempts, and so forth. But Figueroa did a great job in defending himself for the most part and not getting submitted or not getting beat up so much, and yet also doing some fighting himself. So, but Roland Delorme did more. And it was time, basically, to get a unanimous decision. So, congratulations, Delorme. Next. Alright, next is Shawn Pierson versus Kenny Robertson. And the winner is Shawn Pierson via majority decision. Basically, what it all boils down to, they were both really swinging for the fences, but Shawn Pierson really got the better of the striking towards Kenny Robertson. And it also did some grappling as well. Did better grappling with throughout the whole fight, basically against Kenny Robertson. Now Kenny Robertson did some pounding as well. He did some good shots here and there towards Shawn, but Shawn did more damage and did more that he needed to do. So at the very end, Shawn Pierson got the majority decision, which basically means like the 2 judges scored more points. And then one judge scored like a tie, so to speak. So I guess that's what majority decision meant. So, anyways, congratulations, Shawn Pierson. Now, Sam Stout versus James Krause. And the winner is James Krause via a submission with a guillotine choke in a successful UFC debut. Because he basically, James Krause was in WEC. He left when, I guess, WEC got bought and went to other organizations and improved himself. He came back. This is his UFC debut against a very veteran Sam Stout. And let's just be honest, James Krause was ready to go. He was basically he was ready to shine. And so during the first round, he threw a nice head kick, not necessarily to his foot. It wasn't his foot, but it was more of a shin that landed right there in the temple and actually busted open near, basically cut his. There was a cut right near his eye. So Sam Stout started bleeding right away, and so basically it was one of those fights that Sam Stout could not fight any rhythm because James Krause, even though he had longer reach, but yet he was really on point tonight with his striking and kicking and so forth, and also there was very little ground and pound, but James Krause was able to take Sam Stout down just a couple times, and then some grounding and pounding, and in the second round. Basically, Sam Stout kept on and just kept coming at him. But James Krause, like I said, he had he had good distance, he had good timing. He was able to evade whatever wild punches that Sam Stout was able to make. Even though he took some good leg kicks, but then overall, the more leg kicks he tried to score towards Krause actually would lift up his leg and checked it a few times. But the third round was really got it going. The third round, basically, Sam Stout made a mistake. He went too early. He tried to take him down. He did. But, of course, Krause actually went up, got him in a guard, but actually slapped on a guillotine choke and actually slapped on really hard and then actually turned it to the side where he would have more leverage and that's when they forced Stout to tap out with the guillotine choke submission. It was an excellent submission victory, excellent debut for James Krause, even though it went to third round. But still, it was an excellent victory. James Krause, congratulations and welcome to the UFC. Anyways, the next bout was not necessarily the most exciting, but it did. I mean, there was some action going, so I have to admit it. And that is Jake Shields versus Tyron Woodley. And the winner is Jake Shields via a split decision. Like I said, it wasn't necessarily the best fights I've seen, but it's still, it wasn't like it was too boring either. I mean, Jake Shields did what he had to do. Woodley hesitated too much. I guess he was trying to conserve his energy and everything because he knew he was in for a long fight. But he should have gone at him earlier, but Jake Shields just kept tying him up and kept throwing nice knee strikes and even started striking him. I was striking him a few times. Like I said, Tyler Woodley held back too much. Conserved his energy and so forth, and people in the corner kept telling him, go at him now. Go at him now. He waited till the third round to go at him and it was a little too late. Jake Shields kept tying him up. Of course, Woodley would kept fighting back too. That's why it was not a unanimous decision because Woodley would also throw nice uppercuts towards Jake Shields' body. But he should have also done some more knees, some more knees to the thighs and things like that. But Jake Shields could not take Woodley down. That was another factor. Woodley is also a great wrestler. So there was no way that Jake Shields could have taken him down no matter how hard he tried. He couldn't take him down. Woodley couldn't take Jake Shields down either. So all they had to do was clinch in the fence, and then on top of that, the referee had to separate him, I don't know how many times. I mean, my goodness, it was probably about 10 times or more throughout the whole fight. The referee had to separate him, get him back in the ring, clinch. So Jake Shields just did what he needed to do. It was not an impressive win, but it was a win nonetheless. So good job, Jake Shields. And let's see what happens from here on out with Jake Shields. So, and as far as Tyron Woodley is concerned, well, he'll improve next time. I know he will. Anyways, beginning the pay-per-view match is Pat Barry versus Shawn Jordan. And the winner is Shawn Jordan via TKO in basically 59 seconds. It didn't take long. And of course, Pat Barry thought he was just going to get him, but instead Shawn Jordan just started going at him, throwing nice combinations, landed an uppercut. That was the beginning and the end of the fight. He hit him, and he drew 1, 2, another uppercut, 1, 2, uppercut in the stomach, 1, 2, uppercut again. He went down, and that's when Shawn just wailed on him. Pat Barry all he did was cover it up. He didn't defend himself properly, protect himself, or anything. He just kept wailing on him. Pat Barry had no chance. The referee stopped the fight. And a TKO victory with the Shawn Jordan. Awesome TKO victory. So congratulations to Shawn Jordan on that. And like I said, about a minute. So 59 seconds. Anyways, a women's fight. Now this was great. One of the best fights I've seen in a while with women. Is Alexis Davis versus Rosi Sexton. And the winner is Alexis Davis on her UFC debut via unanimous decision. I mean, wow, these two women really went at it. They started first swinging and started punching each other and grappling and things like that. But then as soon as it went to the ground, it was actually Rosi Sexton who was on top of Alexis and was pounding on her. Now, here's the thing that was really got me impressed with Rosi Sexton. Wow, how tough is she? Man, Alexis had her in a triangle for way over a minute. And I thought that she had her choked out, but she had her really tight. But what she really did was didn't have it in the neck; it had it on the head, mostly on the head, and that's why she was actually able to still hang on, kept her body low, so it won't have the full leverage advantage for the submission. And she just kept on hammer fisting, pounding on Sexton. I mean, Sexton was pounding on Davis just the first round alone. My goodness. And then of course they had to stop the first round. The second round was basically the same thing, except of course Sexton was on top of her as far as Davis, but then Davis was able to turn it around and was able to start pounding on Sexton. Now Sexton, I thought that I was really surprised at her being near the end of the second round allowed this fight to continue because Rosi and Sexton wasn't really answering the punches. She was getting punched over the head, and her B was saying, "Stop! You fight back, fight back!" And she was not fighting back. And it was about like 22 seconds, and all she did was this. Sure, she moved around, moved her body, and I guess what really convinced her team was I guess she must have lifted her butt up or anything. But still, I was actually surprised that he didn't stop the fight. I was really surprised, but he didn't. It went to the third round, and then but like I said, it went to the third round. They started swinging again, fighting, and then they went to the ground. Rosi Sexton was on top of her, was trying to ground and pound her, and then Alexis reversed it again and started to ground and pound her again, and started really doing what she got to do. But at the very end, though, it was Alexis Davis who got the unanimous decision victory. But wow, how tough is Rosi Sexton? Man, expect to see this woman around for a while. I have to say. At least Alexis Davis got through with her. Now she can go on to the next level of competition wherever it takes her. So, congrats, Alexis. Now, the next fight is Ryan Jimmo versus Igor Pokrajac. Actually, it's Pokrajac. Yeah, Pokrajac. And the winner is Ryan Jimmo via unanimous decision. I mean, are you surprised? Not necessarily. I mean, I thought Igor Pokrajac was going to do some damage. But Ryan Jimmo really was on his game. I mean, he first of all clinched him on the fence in the first round, and did some knees and clinch on him, and he did what he had to do, and he basically wore Pokrajac out. But then when of course Pokrajac came out and started hitting him and got him in some trouble, but it was Ryan. But Ryan was resourceful, clenched him again, and started wearing him out. And but then in the second round, that's when it was really the beginning at the end because he actually had him and actually hit him so hard. Pokrajac went down. He was able to go on top of him and started grounding and pounding him, smothering him, and all kinds of stuff that he was doing. And the same thing happened in the third round. Sure, he definitely out-wrestled him. He clinched him. He out-struck him. But what really got him going was he started grounding and pounding him in the third round. Igor had no real answer. He was just overwhelmed, and I mean, even when they were clinching, he was all tired and exhausted. He just gassed down, and he was like, ugh. He looked like he was just hanging on for dear life, and he was just like a rag doll, just getting swung around the cage, and he just was not on point tonight. So Ryan Jimmo, awesome fighting, great win. Great unanimous decision victory. Congratulations. And in the co-main event, as Roy Nelson, Big Country, went against Stipe Miocic. And the winner, and that was an excellent upset victory, I would have to say, Stipe Miocic via unanimous decision. Now, would you call it an upset? I would say so. But I'm not too surprised about it either because Roy Nelson, sure, he went out and would try to do his thing. But of course, Stipe Miocic was really smart. He did not try to stand and trade too much with him without being hit or anything like that. So what he would do is he would hit him, and then he'd run, hit and run. That was just all he basically did. But when he did hit, though, he did some nice combos, nice knees, excellent clinches, and he even took down Roy Nelson once. But Roy Nelson got back up and tried to clinch with him, and try to wrestle with him, and so forth. Not just one round, not just 2 rounds, but all 3 rounds. Basically, Roy Nelson had, excuse me, Roy Nelson was being yelled at, but the corner said, "Stop chasing him. He's running from you. Stop chasing him." And he got exhausted too on top of that because of all the chasing. But every time when, of course, Stipe Miocic would run, he would run to have a clear distance so he can start out striking him. And of course, Roy Nelson did some strikes, but they weren't as effective because he was already exhausted. The power is not going to be the same if you're gassed out, if you're exhausted, and if you're being punched out and so forth. But Roy Nelson has an excellent chin. I mean, you have to give him credit. I mean, most people would have been knocked out by Stipe with so many combinations that he did. But Roy Nelson hung in there. But it was just